Hello everyone, this is Teacher Juvie and I will be your guide for today's lesson.
Our topic is about presentation and interpretation of data in a line graph with problem solving. Data gathered and organized can be presented in tabular form. For a clearer representation, it can be presented in a graph. One of these is the line graph. The line graph has a vertical line called y-axis, which contains the first variable in the collected data. As we go up through the y-axis, increasing values must be presented. It may represent almost any type of numerical data such as pesos, scores, number of people, temperature, grades, and etc. On the other hand, the horizontal line called x-axis in the line graph contains the second variable that relates to the first variable in the collected data. As we go to the right in the x-axis, time periods or names of things being compared are enumerated. So, para maunawaan natin kung paano ba ginagawa or kinakonstruct ang isang line graph, let's have this example. Karine recorded her daily expenses in school for a week. She spent 25 pesos on Monday, 30 pesos on Tuesday, 10 pesos on Wednesday, 60 pesos on Thursday, and 35 pesos on Friday. Let us organize the data in a tabular form and present them in a line graph. Fill up the table with the correct data. So one way of organizing the data is using a table. So ito yung ating tabular form ng daily expenses ni Karine sa school. So dito sa ating first column, makikita yung mga days in a week, then yung kanyang expenses in peso. So, since meron na tayong table, pwede na tayong mag-construct ng line graph. So, we have to follow several procedures in constructing a line graph. So, yung first step natin is draw the lines for the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so itong horizontal line na to, ang tinatawag nating x-axis. While itong vertical line na to is what we call the y-axis. Second step is label the x-axis with the days following the proper order from Monday to Friday. So, dapat sunod-sunod yung pagkakalagay ng mga araw. Hindi yan pwedeng rumble-rumble. Third step is for the expenses with 10 as an interval, label the y-axis from 0 to 70, increasing order as you go up. So, yung ating y-axis, ang scale natin is from 0 to 70 at 10 ang kanyang interval. So, pag sinabing interval, so 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to the highest number which is the 70. Then, label natin yung ating x-axis na days at i-label naman natin yung ating y-axis na amount in peso. Okay, fourth step is plot the points that correspond to the day and expenses. So, using the table na ating ginawa kanina, ipa-plot na natin yung point corresponding dun sa araw at sa kanyang expenses. So, on Monday, 25 pesos yung kanyang nagastos. So, ipa-plot natin yung Monday at yung 25 pesos. So, yung point ay nasa pagitan ng 30 and 20. So, assume natin itong gitna na to as 25 pesos. Then, nung Tuesday naman, 30 pesos. So, itapat natin yung points or yung point dito sa 30. Saktong 30. Then, nung Wednesday ay 10 pesos. So, dito siya sa tapat ng 10. Then, nung Thursday, 60 pesos. So, tapat ng 60. And Thursday. Then, yung Friday ay 35 pesos. So, in between siya ng 40 and 30. Then, nakatapat siya sa Friday at sa pagitan ng 40 and 30. Okay. Okay, so after nating ma-plot yung mga points, we can now connect the points by a line segment. So, i-connect natin yung Monday doon sa Tuesday, yung point ng Tuesday sa point na Wednesday, yung point ng Wednesday sa point ng Thursday, at yung point ng Thursday sa point ng Friday. So, meron na tayong connected line segments. For the last step, it is very important to put a title for the graph. So, lahat ng graph na gagawin natin, kailangan may title. And the title of this graph is Karin's Daily Expenses in School. So, we now have a line graph of Karin's Daily Expenses in School. Meanwhile, Karin's sister Carla also had recorded her daily expenses, and you will see it on the table below. So, aside from Carla, meron na tayo nadagdag na another character, si Carla. So, nag-record din daw si Carla ng kanyang daily expenses. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is ipagko-compare natin yung kanilang mga data using a line graph. So, paano ba natin gagawin yon? Let's now have example number 2. Draw a line graph for the given data above. Procedure: we will just copy the graph from example 1 and plot the points that correspond to Carla's daily expenses and draw a new line segment, preferably in another color, through it. In addition, there must be a legend as to which line segment belongs to Karin and Carla for proper identification. So, gagamitin pa rin natin yung ating ginawang line graph kanina. Dadagdagan lang natin ng another data, which is yung daily expenses naman ni Carla. So, gagamit tayo ng ibang kulay para mas ma-identify natin kung alin doon yung line graph ni Karin at alin doon yung line graph ni Carla. Okay, so kung napapansin nyo, nagbago yung title ng ating line graph. Naging Karin and Carla's Daily Expenses in School kasi dalawa na yung ating data. Okay, so i-plot na natin yung daily expenses ni Carla. So, nung Monday, ang expenses niya is 20 pesos. Then, nung Tuesday, 25 pesos. Then, nung Wednesday, that is 15 pesos. Then, nung Thursday, 50 pesos. And nung Friday, 30 pesos. Okay, then after nating i-plot yung mga points, pagko-connect na natin using a line segment. Okay, so yan. Gumamit tayo ng color green for the line segment of Carla. So, dadagdag na ngayon yung ating legend. So, ang ating line segment na yellow ay para kay Karin at yung line segment naman nating green ay para kay Carla. So, di ba, mas na-identify natin kung kaninong graph yun. So, ang nadagdag sa ating parts ng line graph ay yung legend. So, kapag dalawa na yung ating pinagkukumpara or we compared two data in one graph, so gagamit na tayo ng legend. A line graph is a visual comparison of how two variables shown on the x and y axis are related or varies with each other. It is useful in displaying data or information that changes continuously over time. The points on a line graph are connected by a line. Okay, so let's identify the 5 parts of the line graph that must be present for the graph to be complete. So, gamitin natin yung line graph ni Karin and Carla's daily expenses in school and i-identify natin yung mga parts. So, first is yung title. Ito yun, Karin and Carla's daily expenses in school. Then, we have the scale. Ito yung 0 to 70. Then, important din na may label ang ating x and y axis. Then, yung ating plotted points and yung i-connect natin siya using line. So, these are the parts of the line graph. Then, yung nadagdag pala, kapag meron tayong comparison na ginagawa, So, madadagdag yung legend. Okay, so example number 3. Below is an example of a line graph. Study its parts and answer some of the questions below. So, ito yung ating line graph. Yung title is Gatid Elementary School K-3 Enrollment 2019. So, para ma-interpret natin yung ating line graph, we're going to answer the following questions. So, what is the title of the line graph? So, again, ang title of the line graph is Gatid Elementary School K-3 Enrollment 2019. What information is placed along the vertical axis on the horizontal axis? So, yung ating vertical axis, yung patayo, ang ating nakalagay doon is yung enrollment, diba? Ang label niya is enrollment. Then, yung horizontal axis natin na pahiga, ang label niya is yung grade level. Okay. What grade level has the largest enrollment in 2019? List. Okay, so based dito sa ating line graph, ang pinaka-largest enrollment ay ang grade 3 and kindergarten, kung saan pareho silang may 200 enrollment. Then, ang list naman dito is yung grade 2. So, kita naman na mababa yung point ng grade 2. So, siya ay nasa pagitan ng 100 at 150. So, I guess mga 125 siya. How many is the combined enrollment of kindergarten and grade 3? So, ipag-combine natin yung enrollment ng kindergarten at grade 3. So, 200 plus 200. So, the answer is 400 enrollees. Let's have example number 4. Let us go back and compare Karin and Carla's graph of expenses in school by referring to the graph below, and let us answer the questions that follow. So, what is the title of the graph? So, the title of the graph is Karin and Carla's daily expenses in school. What does the scale in the y-axis represents? So, ano daw yung scale dun sa y-axis? Ano yung nire-represent niya? So, it represents the amount of their daily expenses. In which day or days were Carla's expenses greater than Karin's? So, tingnan nyo yung line graph. So, anong araw dyan yung tumaas or lumaki yung expenses ni Carla kumpara kay Karin? So, pansin natin itong Wednesday. So, the answer is nung araw ng Wednesday. Then, nung number 4, what is the difference between their expenses on Friday? So, yung expenses ni Carla nung Friday is 30. At yung expenses naman ni Karin nung Friday ay 35. So, kunin natin yung difference ng dalawang expenses. So, we will get 5 pesos. Let's have another situation. Grade 5 Aris of Gatid Elementary School held their class elections last Monday. For the position of secretary, Scarlett, Jelani, and Karin were nominated. In their class of 30 pupils, they gained the number of votes: Scarlett 9, Jelani 5, Karin 14. Organize the data in the table and answer the following questions. Okay, so let's present the data in tabular form. So, gagawa tayo ng table nila. So, number of votes for secretary in grade 5 Aris. So, yung meron tayong first column, nominees, and yung second column natin is yung number of votes. The nominees are Scarlett, Jelani, and Karin. So, ito yung boto na nakuha ni Scarlett, 9. Jelani got 5 votes, and Karin got 14 votes. So, the first question, how many grade 5 pupils voted for the election of secretary in grade 5 Aris? So, ang gagawin lang natin is, i-add lang natin itong mga number of votes to get the total of pupils na bumoto ng election for secretary in grade 5 Aris. So, pag in-add natin yan, the answer is, there are 28 pupils voted for the election of secretary in grade 5 Aris. Next, what is the total number of votes gained by Jelani and Karin? So, ang gagawin natin is i-add natin yung vote na nakuha ni Jelani and Karin. So, Jelani got 5 votes while Karin got 14 votes. Therefore, there are 19 votes gained by Jelani and Karin. What is the difference in the number of Karin's and Scarlett's votes? So, ang word dito is difference, diba? So, pag sinabing difference, ibig sabihin, gagamit tayo ng operation na subtraction. So, yung boto ni Karin is 14, babawasan natin ang boto ni Scarlett na 9. So, the answer is, the difference in the number of Karin's and Scarlett's votes is 5. If there is a total of 30 pupils in grade 5 ARIS, how many pupils did not vote? So, nung tinotal natin itong lahat ng bumoto, ang nakuha natin is 28. 30 lahat ng pupils sa ARIS. Therefore, there are 2 pupils who did not vote. So, isasubtract lang natin yung 28 sa 30. If all the students were present last Monday, who do you think will win the election for secretary? So, di ba may dalawang hindi bumoto? Kung lahat daw sila present nung Monday, sino sa tingin nyo ang mananalo sa election para maging secretary? So, kung i-add natin yung dalawa doon sa boto ni Scarlett, 9 plus 2 is 11. So, Jelani naman, 5 plus 2 ay 7. Then si Karin, 14 plus 2, 16. So, makikita pa rin natin na si Karin pa rin ang mananalo sa election for secretary. So after answering all the questions, let's now present the votes of the nominees using line graph. So again, we have the title of the graph, which is the number of votes for secretary in grade 5 ARIS. So ipa-plot na natin or gagawa na tayo ng line graph. So yung ating x-axis will be yung mga nominees. Then, yung ating y-axis, yung scale niya is 0 to 15. So, ito naman yung mga number of votes. So, bakit hanggang 15 lang? Kasi, ang pinakamataas nating boto na nakuha is 14. Ang pinakamababa naman is 5. So, pwede na nating gawing scale is 0 to 15. So, let us plot the votes of Scarlett. So, nakuha ni Scarlett ay 9. So, nasa pagitan siya ng 10 and 5. Then, si Jelani naman, nakuhang vote ay 5. So, eksaktong nasa 5 siya. At si Karin naman, ang nakuha ay 14. So, nasa pagitan siya ng 10 and 15. Then, after nating i-plot yung mga points, i-connect na natin siya using line segment. So, ito na yung ating nabuong line graph for the number of votes for secretary in grade 5 ARIS. Study the table, then answer the questions that follows. So, ito yung ating line graph. Then, what is the difference in height of seedlings at day 5 as compared to day 2? So, ang pinapakita ng line graph na to ay yung height ng seedlings. So, yung ating x-axis or yung horizontal axis, ang nakalagay dyan is yung mga days from day 1 to day 5. Then, yung ating vertical axis naman ay yung mga height ng seedlings in centimeter. So, what is asked in this graph? So, we are looking for the difference in height of seedlings at day 5 as compared to day 2. What facts are needed to solve the problem? So, since ang hinahanap lang natin ay difference in height ng day 5 at day 2, so ang kukunin lang nating data is yung day 2, kung saan ang height ng seedlings ay 2 centimeters, and nung day 5, ang height ng seedlings ay 3 centimeters. What operation will you use? So, since difference ang ating hinahanap, we will use subtraction. What is the number sentence? So, 3 centimeters minus 2 centimeters equals n. What is the complete answer? So, the complete answer is the difference in height of seedlings at day 5 as compared to day 2 is 1 centimeter. Letter B, in what day is the growth of the seedlings in terms of height highest, lowest? So, yung pinakamataas is yung day 5, kung saan 3 centimeters, at yung pinakamababa naman is ng day 1, which is, I think, mga 1.75 centimeters.
Thanks for watching this video. Hit like if you learned something from this video and don't forget to subscribe on this channel. Thank you so much.